And real quick, before that last speaker come up, for anybody that's watching right now, I want you all to know that your silence is not going to keep you safe, right? It's not a coincidence that we're marking the 1 year since the Target boycott and when corporations started to abandon the black community, right? After they stood firm in 2020. Me and Georgia had conversations about this, of how they've abandoned media, how they abandoned community. And we have to pose a question, where are the corporations? Where are the faith leaders? Where are the leaders, right? Even when it comes to music, I see people like Nicki Minaj pandering and playing with Trump. It's not a joke. You all are leading to the prosecution of journalists like Georgia Ford, like journalists like Don Lemon, and activists all over the world. And so if any of you are in support of these people, you have relationships with these people, call these people. Where is the church at to say this is not what we stand for, and you're not doing this in the name of God, and you're not doing this in the name of faith, right? Free Georgia Ford immediately.
Hi everyone, I'm the editor at the Minnesota Spokesman Recorder located in South Minneapolis. But before then, I worked with Black Press, and then I worked with the Center for Broadcast Journalism. Georgia was the reason and is the reason why I'm doing the work today. She paved the way for me. I worked directly with her. I was the first person that was hired by her. She saw something in me, and I saw something in her because she was the only person on the ground, in my opinion, when the uprising was happening. And I told her I'd write for her for free. And so we were on the ground together, and she was like, hey, you know, I'm just starting this company, but do you want to write for me part-time? And then that became full-time. I've worked on branding with Georgia. I've sat with her on many meetings, and I just refuse to allow any narrative to be painted about her that isn't positive, that isn't reflective of who she is.
Yes.
She is a leader. She's a truth teller. She's the most consistent person I know. She's very consistent since I first met her to today, and her goal has always been illuminating what needs to be illuminated, illuminating the truth, and standing by that, even if it means putting her in the position that she currently is today. Her value is courage, and so I'm following in her footsteps, even though this is not my lane right here, standing right here. But I think it's really important for us all to come together. I also think it's important that you really decide if your constitutional rights are worth putting your life on the line for, because that's the position that we're put in today. Georgia's amazing. I love her, and I know that her rewards will come back and overcome this because she's done nothing but fulfill her duties as a journalist, and as an amazing journalist at that. So I just wanted to come here and say that Georgia needs to be released, not for any other reason other than she just did her job, and she did it pretty damn well.
Yes, she did.
That the reason that was our last speaker is because that's Georgia's legacy. That's her legacy.
Yes.
When we talk about the work that Georgia Ford does in this community, she makes it so that people can come behind her and do this sometimes thankless job.
Yes.
Y'all need to be real about this. I don't see enough of my colleagues standing up and speaking out.
Listen.
And it's beyond frustrating, it's infuriating that we as journalists aren't taking this as seriously as it is. And maybe if you'd have listened to us a little bit longer, a while back, we wouldn't be here in the first place. But now here we are. So if you have questions.
What's the charges that they're actually bringing up against her?
Good question.
Good question, right?
Very good question. We do not know at this moment. We can only speculate, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it was just before, a little bit before 6 a.m., so there's very limited information.
Perhaps for Stanley, if you're comfortable, have you had a chance to speak with her since the page this morning? At this time, no.
She said at this time, no, for those of you who
Have
knew.
any of you guys had a chance to? Do you know what she's doing?
No, we have not. Not since the arrest.
Has the government contacted you at all?
Excuse me?
Has the government contacted you at all with any information?
No, we just know that there's a 1:30 hearing next door across the street.
And a 1 p.m. rally.
And I just want to say something. I want to give a special shout out to Ricardo Media. He's been out here putting a lot of work in as well. Tonight, with that as well. And also, people has went to his house and basically threatened his life, so his life is on the line as well. So all these sycophants individuals that's coming out there, independent journalists, we have to pay attention to being well and have security around us at all time. And thank you all, everybody, for your work. But thank you, Kyle.
How will this affect caucus coming up February 3rd?
How will it affect caucuses? That's on y'all. Meaning that's the community's call as to how this affects caucus. I expect the community to do what the community does.
I will say it is time for everybody to organize.
Yeah.
On all political spectrums. We need everybody to show up
at
and
those
organize at every single caucus. When you show up, they can't talk about you.
Yeah.
When you show up, you make a decision. So we need everybody to work and organize, and Minnesotans are doing that, so we need everybody to stand up. And I just want to add one thing. I know most of the local, I don't know the other reporters, I know most of the local reporters. I know you, you're incredible people. I hope today, as you talk about this, you have an opportunity for the first time not to be covering. You are being covered. So I hope you share to the public what it would mean if you were pulled out this morning at 6 a.m. and your institution was targeted, you were targeted. And to the national press, you do your job as well. But I know some of the local reporters, and I know how difficult it is because Georgia was not just an independent journal. She was among you in many of those corporate media.
Is. We're going to speak in
So,
present
yes.
tense.
So
She is.
She is. So stand with her today and make sure that the headline is not the type of headline that you've allowed for a long time. The headline should be the First Amendment is under attack.
Come on.
That is what's happening. They're
Come
coming
on,
for the
that's
first,
good,
not the
Imani.
second, the first.
That's good.
Prior to these arrests, the judge refused to sign the warrant.
Exactly.
And then in a video, we see Georgia interacting with the agent saying, this doesn't look like a warrant that I should have to open my door for you. So do we know if the warrant was signed by a judge or was it legitimate?
I can't speak to that at this time, and in fact, that's probably a conversation better for when her attorney is ready to speak.
Yeah, I know Harry opened this up for questions, but again, I'll just reiterate to you all that it's very limited information. We want to encourage everybody to show up at the rally today at 1 p.m., and there's a hearing at 1:30 p.m., and that's where we'll learn a lot more information, so we encourage you all to come out for that as well.
Where is the rally location?
It's in front of the federal. building,
Right across-
right across the street.
Right across the
Yep.
street.
I do have a statement from her lawyer.
Okay. You would like? Yeah. You can come. Yeah, you can come and share the statement from her attorney. But here's the other thing, and I was actually going to close with this, but you can come up and share this. Right now, they thought they silenced Georgia Fort.
No.
Right now, there are thousands of people watching this live stream on Black Press.
That's right.
And they're going to be a
So
People at
you
the
ain't
rally
shut up
today.
nothing.
Nothing.
You didn't stop a thing.
Nothing.
You started something.
Listen.
Do you want to read the statement or no?
You want to do the statement?
So short.
Minneapolis Federal Building. I'm sorry for those of you asking. It's across the street.
Sorry, I just need a second. This is a statement issued on behalf of Georgia Fort by her counsel. My name is Becca. I am the senior producer with Georgia's newsroom Black Press, BLCK Press. Here's the statement. Georgia Fort, Emmy Award-winning independent journalist and NABJ Minnesota vice president, was arrested early today, January 30th, in connection with her news reporting on the anti-ICE demonstration at a St. Paul church service on January 18th. She is scheduled for an initial appearance at 1:30 p.m. today in federal court in Minneapolis, and we expect her to be released. Fort was present at the demonstration solely in a journalistic capacity, documenting an event of significant public interest and concern. The free speech and free press guarantees the First Amendment fully protect such news gathering and reporting activities as Fort's arrest is transparent, an unconstitutional attempt by our federal government to intimidate journalists and chill their protected speech. She will be vigorously defending herself against these charges. Again, that's a statement on behalf of Georgia Fort by her counsel.
Okay, at this time, we're going to close because there is a rally going on, and we want to make sure that we can also support Georgia during her hearing. Thank you all so much for coming out. Thank you for doing the work that you are doing. Continue to do the work.